Welcome to Reckless Paradise, everyone. I'm your host, Marissa, and I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Ugh, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody is having a pretty good week. I don't know, I feel like my week's been a little weird. Not just because the fact that my fucking satellite dish is, completely out right now. We've had no cable TV for 5 days now. But just because I've had a couple sad days this week, and like I say all the time on the show, it's okay to have bad days. Just remember that tomorrow holds better days. No pun intended.
Yeah, it's been a little weird week for me too, to be honest. But you know, it's like we keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's as nice as we have each other and we have our friends, and yeah, life can be kind of funky sometimes. There's stuff that I've kind of been going through in my head that I haven't even talked to you about yet, Dystro, but I'll get to it. The thing is with me, I have to be ready to talk about things. I can't be rushed to talk about something that I don't want to talk about. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I'm the same way.
Well, I guess we kind of click.
Yeah,
We're like bananas and ice cream.
or strawberries and cream.
Oh yeah. Anyways, nonetheless, I hope everybody had a really good week so far. We're approaching the end of February rather quickly, which is crazy. I'm ready to get out of February. I am ready for March. I want spring. I'm sick of fucking winter up here.
And whereas me, like I can't say shit, but whereas me,
Yeah,
like I'm always in spring slash summer slash fall slash a little bit of winter because it's like it gets a little chilly in the morning sometimes, but then like when maybe like 9-10 a.m. hits, it's like, oh yep, it's just all sunny,
it's
heat
funny because
fucking.
your version of cold is way different from mine. If you were up here right now, you would be cold. You would be really cold. It's only 8 degrees out right now in Fahrenheit.
It's currently, I think it's like 86 or something.
I need that.
It's like low 60s. That's supposed to be like tonight's like low
Oh my
here.
god, I would kill for that. I'd be able to sleep with my fucking bedroom window open.
Here.
I'm over here right now. My toes are cold. My fingertips are cold. You're over there fucking nice as a daisy over there.
Mm-mm.
Lucky.
I'm
Oh,
I'm sweating over
oh, I'd rather be sweating than being cold. My freaking feet are cold. But anyways, so thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. So here we go. So we are revisiting one of our older episodes on the channel that we did last year. Now we did a lot of Billy Talent stuff when we started this show, especially on YouTube, on the YouTube episodes, because originally we were on Spotify, but shit happened. Um, so with YouTube, we did some Billy Talent stuff, and one of the first things we did was album rankings, which we're going to get to that in another month. We're going to revisit those. But today, we are revisiting our top 10 Billy Talent songs episode that we did in 2022. We're going to take those lists from that year and compare them to what we have written down now for our personal top 10 lists.
here. Yeah, and I went through, like the whole episode, and I wrote down my picks and your picks too. And like like these were like the first two episodes we did on YouTube that at the time like we were like I because of audio issues on my end.
Right.
Because my headset was fucking up and it was just not working. So I had told Marissa, like, you go ahead and do your side of the episode, and then I'll do mine another day. Um, and that's what we did.
That's kind of how it worked for a little bit, and then we finally got into recording together, which I'm really glad we did. I'm
Hmm.
glad we worked that out. Now you're 95% crystal clear for me. There were times where you did lag a little bit in previous episodes that we've done, but I think it might just be because of your weather over there.
Yeah, you know, for the weather, it's bipolar.
So another disclaimer: we do not know what we have for our list for this year. Like we do not know each other's list this year.
No. Um, it same with like the previous one, but it was just because last year's was again like completely out of the blue for us too. But except for like two of our picks, like they were in the exact same position that we both had them in.
Yeah,
But
and that was
now
just
like
out of
this
luck.
time this year, yeah, this is just that was just random. That it was just lucky that we had two of the exact same songs in the exact same order. That was kind of like completely random, but then again, like we didn't see each other's lists, and
Yeah,
it's
same
like
thing with this year. We didn't see each other's lists. And even like this year with last year's list, I have no idea what I picked. I don't remember. I don't have my notes from last year at all. So this is going to be completely new to me.
yeah, like I said, went through the whole episode. Made sure like I went from 10 to 1. Same with me and all that stuff, and we'll see where we ranked from last year to this year, because
And
our
another
list
thing
is
I
gonna
want to
be
add real quick, like while it's on
different.
my mind, like yeah, it's gonna be different. Also like sorry if we're like cut into each other. Like, there's a slight delay on my end. But I'm trying to think. What was I gonna say? Oh, so at this time last year, we did not listen to the whole Billy Talent discography yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have. We did that. What? We did that. What? Maybe summer. We did that in the summer last year.
It was October, I think.
No, we started ACDC in October.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sure.
So it was summer. It was like during August, during Fair Week, we started. Actually, we started listening to all the Billy Talent stuff at random, and it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
easy because there's only 6 main albums plus hits. We listened to hits as well, and then we went and listened to like the stuff they did when they were called Pez. But we're not going to include that here. This is just strictly Billy Talent stuff, from anything from Billy Talent 1 up to Crisis of Faith, which was a recent album. So I think we've done enough delaying. Let's get into this. All right, so how shall we do this? I think we'll do this way. We'll start at number 10. Like, I'll say my current number 10, and then you could tell me what my old number 10 was, and then you can do the same for you, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, that's
This
fine.
episode might be long, but I don't care. This is worth it.
True.
All right, I guess I'll go first. So, my number 10 for this year, I put the Navy song from Billy Talent 2.
Okay. So your number 10 from last year was Try Honesty.
What the fuck?
And same with mine too. So that was my number 10 as
Were
well.
we
But
on fucking crack?
apparently so, because like we put our number 10 and our number 7 from last year, like I said, like it was the exact same spot.
So,
But
what's your number
we'll get
10 this year?
my number 10 this year was Tears into Wine.
Oh, okay. Billy Talent 3. Wow, now I feel like shit. Way to go, me.
It and plus like for one, like a little disclaimer here, like she did not listen to Billy Talent 3 um for like a long time, because like she just, I guess it was just like not out of spite, but it was just like you just didn't really want to listen to it, I guess.
Yeah.
um but it's like when we listened to it together, I listened to it by myself, I thought it was really good. When we listened to it together, I was like, okay, like she's gotta like think like this is like a really good album, and then you're like, well, now I feel like shit, like not giving it a chance, and I'm glad
So,
you did.
yeah, I'm glad I gave it a chance. I feel bad though. You'll see why by the time we get to like the end of my list for this year. I feel really bad. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so yeah. Let's start with what we picked last year. Number 10 was Try Honesty for. I don't know what we were thinking. I really don't.
um I think we were just on crack or
We
something.
were like, this was like not right. Try Honesty was an absolute banger.
Well, and plus like you said, like we weren't full into the Billion Talent discography yet, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, like we only knew like the basics. Like
Yeah,
myself, I had listened to almost all the discography myself, except for like a couple albums. But
right.
other than that, like I knew a lot, like
Hmm.
more than you at the time. Like not to like drag you down. Um, I've been into Billy Talent hardcore since 2020, and
Right.
if y'all know the history behind that, like y'all are the OGs. Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking with Try Honesty. I want to forget that we put that at number 10. I just want to forget about that. She deserves praise. Um, so my number 10, like I said, Navy song, I have really grown to like that song. When I first heard it, I wasn't crazy for it, but like as I listened to it more, it started to really grow on me. And it was between this song and then Sudden Movements from Billy Talent 3 for my number 10 spot. I had to go with Navy song just because I feel like that song doesn't get enough attention. It's obviously it has to do with like military stuff and stuff like that. It's just beautifully written too. Like, oh, from the guitar riff to Ben's vocals, the lyrics in that, it's just absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
And then your number 10 was Tears into Wine. Man, I really used to like that song. I haven't heard it in a while though.
Yeah. It I was just like singing it to myself, like just a little bit, just like
I have it in my head now. Like I haven't heard it in forever though.
listen to why. Um, like it's beautifully written too, because it's
It's a
like
dark one too.
yeah, it's like we say like on this channel like and stuff like every band has their dark album. Billy Talent 3 was their darkest album.
It was, and we did a breakdown episode on that a few
Mhm.
months ago. If you guys want to go check that out, I'm really mad at myself again for like not listening to it sooner. It's really good.
Mhm.
It's just like it doesn't beat other albums in my opinion, but it's still a really solid album. Like there's songs on there I didn't care for, which is odd for me to say, but there were songs in there I didn't really care for. Not that one though. That one was pretty good. But yeah, I can see why you put it at number 10. Like it is beautifully written. The fucking guitar riff on that. Again, it's a dark song with the lyrics and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Oh boy, now I'm nervous. God, we're only at number 10. I'm fucking scared. Oh my god. All right, number 9. Let's go with you first. What did you pick this year for number 9?
For this year?
Yeah.
Okay. I did Afraid of Heights for this year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was yours last year?
My number 9 last year was Saint Veronica.
Oh, another Billy Talent 3 hit. Oh boy. All right.
Ooh.
So my number 9 for this year comes from the album Dead Silence. It's Viking Death March.
Okay. Your number 9 for last year was Sudden Movements.
Wow. Oh my god, I took him off the list. Wow. Oh man. I don't get me
Be
wrong.
gone with you.
Don't get me wrong. I love sudden movements. It's slow, heavy, like dark.
Mhm.
Like it matches the tone of Billy Talent 3 perfectly. The problem with me is I overplayed it in the past year. I overplayed it to the point where I got sick of it. Um, and it sucks to say that. Like I hate doing that. Like I overplay songs to the point I get sick of them. But then like maybe like months down the road I find it again. I'm like, oh, I missed this song. Like,
Right, right.
but you know what? I'm glad I put Viking Death March because I used to hate that song, and I love it now. Let's talk about yours first. So, your number 9 this year is Afraid of Heights, which wow, I wasn't really expecting that to be honest because like I don't know, like that album didn't sit right with me either. It's not my favorite, but that song is really good. Like that song and the reprise version of it at the end of the album, really good. So why did you pick Afraid of Heights this year?
I don't really know. It's just like you kind of like took the words like kind of right out of my mouth with right there because it's like it's not it's not the best album, but there's some solid hits on that album that kind of like brought it up a little bit for me. Like
Right.
the Crutch, Afraid of Heights, both versions, like the theatrical version and the reprise version. Um, like February Wins, which I'll get to in like two more down.
Oh boy.
Um, like like there's some good songs on that out, like taking Time Bomb Taken Away. Isn't that from that album
Yeah,
too?
it is. I just heard this one recently too.
Like there's like some really good solid gems in that album. There's not some good ones in that one bunch too, but then like to be honest, like every song's not gonna be an instant classic.
Right. It's gonna take a couple tries.
Yeah. So like I mean, like I could have probably put like every single sort of like song from every album or something like that, but it's like we'll be here all fucking day.
All
But
fucking night, yeah.
so I just went with one that stood out to me because it's like Afraid of Heights is like it kind of speaks to real life with me because like I am literally afraid of heights.
And
I'm
I'm
not
not.
joking.
I'm not. Oh, I just like that song in general. It just has a really powerful message behind it. It could be taken in different ways. Like,
Mhm.
don't be afraid of like what's holding you back in life. Like, you gotta face your fears head on, like that kind of thing.
Right.
Now, with your pick last year with Saint Veronica, wow, that song was really good too. Yet another dark song from Billy Talent 3, with a little bit of a positive light towards the end, which is good. I'm glad they put a little positive note towards the end of that song. Um,
Right.
I'm really surprised that I'm gonna be honest. I didn't put that on my list this year, and I'm kind of surprised I didn't. But that just means there's better songs ahead. So with me, with Viking Death March, again, this song I originally hated from Dead Silence. I had friends of mine in a server I'm in. It's a Billy Talent server on Discord. They're like, "Oh, you need to give Viking Death March another try." I'm like, "Okay, okay." I did more than once, and I grew to love it. It's another song I really grew to love, like Navy song. It's just really fucking powerful, like really good. Like it screams like not like a rebel song, kind of like revolting, like protest, like that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like I really like that, and that's kind of the genuine theme with Dead Silence as a whole. With that album, it's about like a lot of personal problems, relationship problems, just worldwide problems, and overall, it's a fucking solid album. I just listened to it last week, and man, I am so happy I did. So what was my pick for last year?
Your pick for last year was Sudden Movements.
Okay, yeah. So I just talked about that again. Dark Song from Billy Talent 3. I over listened to it, so that's
Hmm.
why it didn't make my list this year. All right, my number eight's gonna be simple. This year, it's Afraid of Heights. I don't really have to explain with this one because we just explained with your number nine. So what was my number eight last year?
Number 8 was Fallen Leaves last year.
Oh, really? No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So what's your number eight this year?
My number 8 this year was Rested from the Rain.
Oh my God, Billy Talent 3 again. Man, I'm feeling like shit. What was your number eight last year?
Number 8 last year was Tears into Wine.
Wow.
It went up 2 notches.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so we don't really need to talk about Afraid of Heights because we just discussed that.
Right.
Um, man, Fallen Leaves. I didn't even put that on my list this year. Wow. Um,
I didn't even put it on my list this year either.
wow. I don't know. I feel like it's just because it's like overplayed for me. Like I
Yeah.
hear it on the radio weekly on show. They play it a lot, in addition to other stuff too from Billy Talent. But I hear that song a lot, and it's a song that I'd usually play in the fall, like when leaves are falling up here and everything.
Fallen Leaves.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I really don't know what we were thinking last year. Like I love that song. It's just it's super overplayed.
Yeah, I mean, could be said for like a lot of these songs that we had from last year to this year too. Like I tried to do different ones that were not overplayed for me for this year
Right.
compared to like last year. Like Try Honesty, Judged. was another one. River Below, Red Flag, uh, Surprise Surprise, like Fallen Leaves and stuff like that. Those like kind of get a little bit overplayed for me.
Yeah, those are like mainstream. Like there's one song out of that bunch still that I can listen to all day. But let's go to Rest from the Rain. We don't really need to talk about Tears from Wine because we just
We
talked
just
about
talked
it. So let's go with Rest from the Rain. Now I'm feeling like shit. I should have put that on my list this year. I just heard it on the radio too yesterday. Like, and I hadn't heard it in forever. Like, it's so good. It's like another heavy track from Billy Talent 3, and it's dark.
I love the slow like guitar
Dun,
work.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 dun,
you hear
dun.
Ben's vocals, and then you hear that punch like as soon as he hit the first chorus, and then
Uh,
it's like, ugh.
I'm gonna cry. I feel so fucking bad. Like out of all the songs that we've mentioned so far, I feel bad for that one. I didn't put it on my fucking list this year because Ben's vocals, like, excuse me for a minute, but like Ben's vocals are fucking sexy in that song. Like, wow.
Oh
Don't oh god me.
Uh, okay. I'm just gonna
Uh,
go right past it.
but no, seriously, that song is really, really good. Again, it matches the tone of Billy Talent 3 very well. Um, I'm honestly feeling so bad, and I've had to change my list once before we recorded. So,
I didn't.
oh my god. Okay, let's go to number 7. My number 7 is actually kind of a deep cut track from Dead Silence. It's not one that gets talked about a lot, I find. It's Hanging by a Thread.
That's a good one. That's a good solid one.
What was mine last year?
Judged.
What the fuck?
That was mine last year too.
That shouldn't have even been on the fucking list.
That was mine last year too. Like
Wow.
like our 10 and our number 7 were the exact same last year.
Oh my god. What were we thinking? Judge shouldn't have even been there.
I think it was just because like when we heard it, it was just too fast and we wanted more. That's why we probably put it at number 7, probably.
Oh. So what's your number 7 this year?
My number 7 this year was February Winds.
Really? Oh my god. That's a really good one too.
Yeah, I
I've
had two Billy Talent threes, and then I had two Billy Talent Afraid of Heights tracks.
Mine is a mix. So let's go with Hanging by a Thread for a minute. So this song, like lately, I have been really into it. It's a song that I relate to on a deeper level because I've been in that situation before. If you listen to the song, you listen to the lyrics really carefully, you can kind of pinpoint what the song is about. It's about basically a relationship that's hanging by a thread. Like you don't know from one day to the next what's going to happen. Like, are you going to lose your lover? Like, is it time to just call it quits? Is it time to give up? I've been in that situation many times, and it's absolutely a shitty feeling. But now I can go back and listen to the song and feel okay. Like it's just a really catchy song for me. And I just love it. Like I'm mad that this didn't get released as a single before the album dropped in 2012. I'm also mad that there's no music video for this as well. Like I would have loved to have seen a dramatic music video with just like it's hard to explain. Like Dead Silence is one of those really underrated albums for Billy Talent. In my personal opinion, of all the albums that have been released, that is the most underrated one. And it's all bangers. Um, but yeah, with Hanging by a Thread, I had to put that on my list this year just because I have a really personal meaning behind it. Like it just means a lot to me. And not only that, it's a really good song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the fucking start of guitars, like I love that. All right, so let's talk about your number 7 this year with February Winds. I love that song.
Yeah. It's like, again, Ben's vocals are killer on that. I love Ben's
Absolutely.
vocals. Um, it's like, and plus, it's like it's kind of fitting because it's like we're in February right now, but and like when I was listening to the song, like the winds were picking up a little bit where I was at. I was like, okay, like, is that like symbolism or something?
Ben just, he can fucking feel you like, okay, time to pick the winds up.
Okay.
Oh man, that song too has like a lot of personal meaning for me. It gives me a lot of hope in the wintertime because I get seasonal depression. Like where like once it's wintertime, I'm just an absolute like train wreck. I hate it. I hate winter. I get really lonely. I don't leave my house much. I'm kind of cooped up. I get very, very down in the dumps, so to speak. And I don't usually talk about this to a lot of people, but it's just for me. I hate winter. This song, it's like more than the halfway point for me for winter. It gives me hope that okay, we
Comes
are
around the
almost
corner.
done winter and spring's just around the corner. Yeah, you're going to hear the February winds pick up, but that just tells you right there spring's coming.
Hmm.
Like that's my personal interpretation on it. Like it just gives me a lot of hope that I'm going to get through this seasonal depression that I'm currently in.
Right.
I love the guitar riff on that too, like right at the beginning.
Yeah. Like Ian's like one of those like underrated guitarists of all time.
Absolutely, absolutely to a fucking T. He needs to, get more recognition in this world for what he does. Not only as a guitarist, but he's also kind of plays the producer role for Billy Talent as well. He comes up with a lot of the lyrics and stuff like that.
It's like I think like a lot of these songs like yeah, like you could relate to like on a personal level, but you could also relate to it like on a spiritual level and a mental level too. Because like Forgiveness 1 and 2, like like yeah, like the first half is like hard hitting and like fat like not fast paced, but like hard hitting rock song. But then it's like the second half's like kind of trippy a little
Outer
bit.
Space, like kind of
Yeah.
like Asthenia from Blink 182's Untitled album.
Mhm. And it's like you can feel it spiritually on that second half of that song a little bit, like taking you out of this world, like and stuff. And it's like I love that certain bands can do that, but also deliver you some kick-ass rock music at the same
Absolutely. Speaking of kick ass, let's go to Judge real quick. Judge,
time.
fucking. I'm mad that I put that on my list last year. I'm a little mad because I love the song. I love how it's like it gets straight to the point, no bullshit kind of thing. But at the same time, it's short. It's too short, and it's just a song that I really wish we could have gotten more out of from a punk song.
Yeah, I think it was just like I think that was just my mindset on it. It was just like it was super short. It gets to the point, but it's still super short. It's just
Right.
like could have had a little bit more.
Like
Like
we're still hungry here, kids.
we're still starving.
Oh boy. Okay, so this kind of fits perfectly with my number six. Actually, let's hear your number six first.
For okay, for my six for this year, I did River Below.
Okay, and what was yours last year?
Same thing.
Wow, so that didn't change. Okay.
Change.
So my number six, fittingly well enough, Forgiveness 1 and 2, because we just mentioned that.
No need to go over that anymore.
Oh no, I'm still gonna go over just a little bit more. But what was my six for last year?
Your six for last year was Diamond on a Landmine.
No! What the fuck? I forgot about that song.
Oh
Oh
no. Oh no. Oh no.
no. Oh man. Okay, well I'm gonna start with that first. So I can see why I put that at number six. That song is so good, and
Mhm.
I'm glad that they have a music video for it. Um, again from Billy Talent 3, probably my number one favorite from Billy Talent 3. Like it's one of my most listened to songs by Billy Talent on Spotify at this moment. Even last year too, it was. Man, I'm mad. I don't know why I didn't put that on my list this year. Wow, fucking that song is just it's like kind of a toxic song. Like it's about like trying to get your lover back in so many ways, but your lover is like really abusive. But like you do anything to get them back. Like, it's just it's a toxic song, but I vibe with it. I love it. Um, man, I'm mad. There's really not much else to say about that song, to be honest. But it's really good. I can see why I put it as number six last year. I'm not mad about that.
Okay, a little sidebar here. I
Mhm.
just happened to look at my picks for last year and picks for this year. My number 6 and number 5 are the exact same from last year.
Oh my. Okay. This ought to be interesting.
I mean, they're both really good too, so that's why I'm not gonna change it. Whatever.
Yeah, keep it. So
Okay.
with number 6, I put Forgiveness 1 and 2 this year just because not only was this my top listened to song in 2021,
Hmm.
this is probably one of my favorite songs from Crisis of Faith. And I love Crisis of Faith. I love that album. That album blew me away when I heard it for the first time with you. Um, Forgiveness 1 and 2, man, it is such a unique song. I really love what they did with it. How they brought in, like, the whole saxophone kind of thing with the second half. And like you said, it sounds like really spacey. It literally sounds like two completely different songs, but they put it
Hmm.
into one. And I really like that. They get like a 2-in-1 kind of thing. It's like a buy one, get two free kind of thing. Um, but no, I love that song. I'm actually you know what, I'm not gonna be mad that I didn't put Diamond on a Landmine there this year. I'm kind of just happy I put Forgiveness 1 and 2 this year because it is so fucking good. And I just
Hmm.
listened to that song before we started recording, so it's still fresh in my memory.
Right. Right.
So River Below, I hear that song a lot on the radio.
This was the first, or no, second song that I heard by Billy Talent before I got into Billy Talent.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, the first one was Try Honesty, funny enough. Um I remember the video for Try Honesty was at the abandoned mental hospital, right?
Yep,
Correct?
back in 2003.
Um and when I heard River Below, I was like, okay. I was like, just diving down into the rabbit hole a little bit. I was like, okay, like what else is like for this band and stuff. And there was like, I think there was like River Below. There was I think Surprise Surprise was on there too. Um,
Yeah, that's another hit that they had. That's from Dead Silence.
I can't remember like what else was on the YouTube spectrum for them at that time.
Now, what year was
Um,
this? Do you remember?
oh God, you got ask that question.
Was it like 2017, 2018?
No, this is like further back than that.
Oh, really?
Um, I'd say 2012, 2013.
So this is before Afraid of Heights came out.
Yeah, I was like either getting out of middle school, going into high school, or just about to finish middle school.
Yeah, I didn't find Billy Talent until my senior year of high school. And at this time, we were under lockdown. There was no
Yeah.
school. We had COVID going on and stuff like that. And I found I Beg to Differ on the radio. And that's what
Mm.
sparked it all for me. But I've explained that before. So
Yeah.
now with River Below, again, that's from Billy Talent 1. I hear that song a lot. It's overplayed for me as well because I hear it on the radio a lot. Sean plays it weekly. So it's just one of those songs like, okay, I like it. But if I overplay it, if I don't overhear it, I'm like, okay, I gotta play something else.
Right.
Oh, and like you said, that was your number 6 for last year as well, correct?
Yeah. Oh, I just realized my number 2 were the exact same too. Oh my God.
My list is so completely different this year, and it's actually kind of funny.
Oh my God. Okay. We'll get
Oh,
to it when we get to it.
so we're finally at the halfway point. We're 34 minutes in, so this is going to be a long episode.
Hmm.
All right, my number 5. Oh boy. My number 5 for this year is Perfect World from Billy Talent 2.
Good one. That's a good one. Your number 5 for last year was Show Me the Way.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, spoiler alert. That song is on my list this year, but it's up higher.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
It's funny that a full year goes around and it's just like, okay, yeah.
That's like the one song that actually moved up a couple spots in the list this year.
Right, right.
The rest are all like new to my list.
The one the one song that I had um one song that I had last year like moved like way up this year.
Actually, I take that back. Yeah, I do have another song on here that moved up this year. But
Um,
anyways, so what's your number 5 for this year?
Red Flag, same as last year.
Wow, okay. So let's so we both got Billy Talent 2 songs here. Fucking solid picks. Red Flag I haven't heard a lot of anymore, which sucks. I love that song. I'm gonna listen
It,
to it again.
it's very rebellious. I
It
know that.
is. It screams 2000s like punk, like
Hmm.
angst, like that kind of thing.
It's kind of like when we listen to the self-titled Blink-182 album not too long ago. It was like the opening track, "Feeling This," it kind of screams like rebellious a little bit.
Oh, well, I mean, I mean, yeah. If you want to talk in terms of rated R, yeah.
Oh my god, you get your mind out of the
I got a
gutter.
regret right now.
And then
I'm feeling
feel
this.
this.
I
Uh,
mean, like half the song is like rated R. It's like,
no, that's just the music video alone.
oh god.
That's rated X. um, but like Red Flag is like, yeah, like it's very rebellious and stuff, and I love the opening like drum and uh the opening drum from Aaron. It's like
Oh yeah, like that's literally one of the most iconic drumming lines of all time. Like it's like
yeah.
one of the most recognizable drumming openings of all time. Like can't beat it. Oh my god. So Perfect World. Now, this song too is another one I can relate to. It's a breakup song, heartbreak song kind of thing. It's kind of like an "F you, I don't need you anymore" kind of song, which again, I dig songs like that. um, Up to this day, I still do, even though I've been single for like God knows how long, doomsday. Um,
Doomsday.
but yeah, I love that song. It's really loud. Like, it's like I
Mm,
feel like it's louder than any other song I've heard from Billy Talent. It's like
it's
really
not.
fucking loud.
I was about to say it's not louder than the DJ.
Shush. It's just a really mean, aggressive sounding Billy Talent 2 sound, like a really like a big "fu" kind of song. I really
Mm,
really like it. It helped me through a lot, like with like my breakup and stuff that I went through 2 years ago. Um,
right, right,
but yeah. So with "Show Me the Way," I'm not going to talk about that right now because I do have that higher up on my list. So when we get to that, we will discuss.
right.
So number 4, what was your number 4?
My number 4 for this year is Reactor, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm. Do you want to know what your number
Well, what?
4?
So wait, what was your number 4 last year?
My number 4 last year was This Suffering.
Really? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow. What the fuck's that doing there?
I don't know what else is like, try honesty and fucking judge doing in our list last year.
Well, I mean, I can see why Try Honesty was there, but it's just not in the right spot. All right, my number 4 this year might be a little bit of a surprise to you. It's from Afraid of Heights. It's probably the longest song that they've done, next to Forgiveness. Rabbit Down the Hole is my number 4
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
that's a good one. That's a really good one. I had just learned that not too long ago too. So,
So what was my number
um,
4 last year?
I beg to differ last year.
Oh, oh no! I didn't put her on my list. That song means so much to me too. Like that's like a really like sentimental song to me too, because it
Hmm.
has stopped me from shit that I shouldn't even been doing. Um, but wow, okay. So again, I beg to differ. Not much to talk about here. It's my first Billy Talent song that I came across in 2020. It helped me through a lot of stuff. Very sentimental song. Really good song too. Ben's vocals there, absolutely killer. It literally
Hmm.
sounds kind of like an OG Billy Talent song. Like if I wouldn't have known that was a newer song, I would have guessed it was from easily like Billy Talent too.
Mm, yeah.
So with my pick this year, Rabbit Down the Hole, this song is a song that has had me in a fucking chokehold for the past year. Um, it is a very powerful song. It's a little more mellow than what we're used to with Billy Talent. But
Hmm.
it's a really fucking powerful song. Like Ben's vocals just scream emotion, and especially at the very end. Like, it's just absolutely beautiful. I've listened to the song so many times last year. Um, Man, I need to go listen to it again. Like, I haven't heard it in a little bit though. Like, cause I've kind of been out of the Billy talent spectrum for about a month since we started the Blink stuff. I've been kind of in and out. I've been trying to like listen to a lot more Blink stuff, but
Mhm.
um, man, that song had me in a fucking chokehold last year. It is so good.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So let's talk about your pick from last year, This Suffering. Why the hell is that on there?
Well, it's like I had heard it in like a video somewhere, and I did not know who it was. Mind you, like there was two songs on that video that I had listened to. There was The Pretender by Foo Fighters, and then there was This Suffering from Billy Talent. I did not know who Billy Talent was at that time until I like looked them up.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I was like, I know This Suffering a little bit. That was like I think technically that was my first song actually. Um So it was like that, and then Try Honesty, and then it was River Below, and then it was like I think Surprise Surprise and like Red Flag and all that stuff, like I said. Um, but this suffering like last year, it was like I think like a lot of people can like you can hear the like you listen to the lyrics and it's like my interpretation of it, it's like a lot of people are suffering a little bit because it's like I mean like 2 years ago, like we did not know like what the world was gonna be like
Almost
after
3 years
quarantine.
now. Like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
like we did not know what people were gonna be like, and like like long distance relationships were not gonna last during quarantine. Uh,
Even
jo-
local relationships were
yeah,
gonna last.
like jobs were like almost non-existent sometimes.
You know
Like
what? I have an idea for an episode. We gotta like sit down and do like revisit the COVID days and just talk about like how it affected people in general, how it affected the music industry, how it affected the wrestling industry, how it affected us, you and I as humans, and like what changed in our lives because of it. Like we should definitely sit down and do an episode, even get somebody on here with us, like even one of our friends.
I think that would be like something that we would say like during shoot the shit or something, but we could be like our
Now
own
we are doing this as a specific, hands down,
COVID
no
days.
bullshit episode. COVID days. Oh God, not nostalgia days, but
No, we that ship has sailed.
sadly, I know I'm still crying over it over here.
It's like two ships passing in the night. Um,
Okay, continue.
but it was like a lot of people were suffering during quarantine and and stuff because like a lot of people did not know like if they were gonna live or they were gonna die by this COVID virus.
Right.
And a lot of people were just suffering because it's like people were away from their family members that they either like like saw every day or they like like said like hello to every day or call them every day and stuff, and they're in the hospital literally on their deathbed,
Yeah.
and that's just scary because like I was very grateful that myself and my mom and my dad like we did not have any of the COVID symptoms, and we were very lucky that we all had negative tests and stuff when it was still like it's still a thing now, but it's like we were very very lucky. Like
Absolutely.
um, and we're still here to this day. So like it's like it's crazy to think that it's almost been 3 years since that happened.
I agree. But yeah, we will definitely need to do an episode about this sometime this year. I might have to swap it out with an episode in March or April or something because like this is something I really have wanted to do for a while. Um, but but yeah, I can see why this suffering would be in your top 5 just because you have a personal connection to it, and that's completely fine. I love
Mhm.
that song. It's just it's like another like definition of destiny kind of thing from Billy Talent 3 where like, okay, I can only listen to it so much. Like it's
Mhm.
not like a favorite, like a fan favorite of mine, but I will listen to it once in a blue moon.
Right.
So what was yours this year? Reactor?
Yep.
Okay, that's a good pick. Like I'm not gonna go any further because yeah, that is a really good pick.
Reactor set overload.
Spoiler: that one is on my list this year. Just I can't talk about it yet because it's not we haven't made it to that far yet. But yeah, so why did you pick Reactor? Like I know like this song had us in a chokehold for a while.
So I think it's just like with the suffering a little bit. It's like a lot of people were just ready to explode out of like sheer boredom during quarantine and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, like we're cooped up in our houses for like a long time.
Yeah,
Like we could not see any of our friends, any of our family members, any of our coworkers. We could not even like be in the exact same room, but we had to be 6 feet apart.
right.
And it's like a lot of people were just like waiting to just get out of quarantine, and touch people and hug people and all that stuff. It's like, and like a little funny side note here. It's like when we play Among Us and stuff like that. When it's in Reactor, we go Reactor set to overload, and it's like it has that little funny aspect to it for me. But then real talk, it's like that's what the meaning for that means to me a little bit.
In reality, that song they wrote about during like the BLM movement, the Black Lives Matters movement with George Floyd and stuff
Hmm.
like that. They wrote about that. I never would have thought that's what the song was about. For me,
Hmm.
it's a really like up. For me, it sounds like an upbeat song. Like that's just for me. And when we heard this song for the first time, let me tell you, my mouth, like my jaw dropped to the floor. Like it was so fucking good. Like that song literally choked me out. Like it had me in a chokehold for fucking months. It was all I would listen to for the longest time. And it just has a different vibe to it. That song does. Like I feel like it's like in a tone of like it's in like a key that we have never heard before, in my opinion, from like Billy Talent.
Right.
Um to a lot of people said it sounds like a Foo Fighters song, which is kind of funny because we're both Foo Fighters fans.
Hmm. I can't imagine like Dave Grohl and the band or Dave Grohl and the boys like just doing reactor set. It's just like
Oh my god, I need to hear that now. Dave, call me up. I got ideas.
Dave, hey, it's been cool always from Billy Talent. It's like, what the hell is this guy? It's like
I seriously want to see them cover a Foo Fighters song and vice versa. Like, I would kill to see that.
Billy Talent covering The Pretender would be cool.
Now, I know we're like really going lengthy on time, but I know that Billy Talent and Foo Fighters are performing at the RBC Blues Festival in Ottawa this year. Two different
Hmm.
dates, though. I would love to see something happen with them. Like, please, like, just do something. Oh my god, like that would be like a dream come true for me because like Foo Fighters has covered an AC/DC song before. Billy Talent's covered stuff from like the Buzzcocks, Rush, um, just I think there's another one too. Oh, Bob Dylan. He did a Bob Dylan
Hmm.
cover. Like anything's possible. Make it happen. Make it fucking happen. Like we need to make a petition. Like seriously, get some attention around this. Anyways, so we have 3 songs left here. Let's get through them because we're like almost an hour in. Um, number 3. What was your number 3 this year?
Stand Up and Run.
Wow. Okay, I just heard that today too on the radio. What was your number 3 last year?
Surprise, surprise.
Okay, Dead Silence. Good shit. I my
Good
number 3
songs.
is also a Dead Silence song. It's "Show Me the Way." There she is. So what was my number 3 last year?
Reactor.
Okay, she moved up one this year. um, man, "Show Me the Way." That song still up to this day has been a chokehold. I found that song in 2021. this was before, like, we started listening to everything and stuff like that. This is before we even got close, Dystro. Like, I have known this song for 2 years now. It
Hmm.
was my favorite Billy Talent song for the longest time. The music video is fucking beautiful, fucking colorful. This song still up to this day has me in a chokehold. It's one of my favorites of all time. I don't think it's ever gonna leave my list. Um, it's just a really, I feel like it's one of the most underrated Billy Talent songs there is out there today. Even though this song has a music video for it, which is a little weird. Like, it's not a song that gained a lot of popularity, but it should have. It's really good. It's more of like, it sounds like an upbeat song for me. Like, it's one of those positive songs that's really helped me through dark times when I was going through like my breakup and stuff, trying to get over that. And this song just brought a lot of light to my life. And I would listen to it on repeat for fucking hours on end. It's solid. Now, with Reactor, I will get to that because that is my next one. So let's hear what you have to say about last year's pick for you.
Surprise, surprise.
Yep, from Dead Silence.
So this was another one that I had listened to. When I was like getting either almost out of middle school, going into high school, or just about to finish middle school. Um, the video for it I saw, I was like, that was just freaking hilarious. I love that fucking music video. It was
God.
like the main villain was like a pig. I was like, huh?
I don't think I've actually watched the music video yet, which is
it
weird.
it's interesting. It's very interesting. But the opening riff from Ian's is like that's what made it for me. It's like it almost sounded like almost every opening to a Metallica song.
Kinda,
a
yeah,
little,
now that I
a
think
little,
about it.
a little bit. Um, it was like one of those songs like it was just, like very hard hitting, like I said, like but very upbeat. Um, it's like a very solid song from last year.
Absolutely. And your song this year for number three is Stand Up and Run, which
Yep.
I'm not surprised. This song is more of like a mellower song from Billy Talent, something we're not used to.
Hmm.
Released as one of their biggest hits of all time from Billy Talent. Music video is beautiful, by the way. Like, Ben looks like fucking Nicolas Cage in that video.
I could just see like a biopic of like Nicolas Cage and Ben Kowalowitz plays Nicolas
That
Cage.
would be fucking perfect too. Like, now with Stand Up and Run, this is more of like a love song. It's really
Mhm.
beautiful though. I love it. It kind of gives me like the For You vibes from the Crisis of Faith album. That was the closing track. Um, the problem with me is a Stand Up and Run. I love it. And the thing is, the funny thing is with this song, I didn't know about this. Like, I didn't know I've heard this song throughout my whole childhood. Because my
Hmm.
parents used to listen to the show. And then one day, like in 2020, I heard that song on the radio. I'm like, wait, I've heard this before. And I looked it up. It's like, oh shit, this is that group that I was just fucking like raving over. I was like raving over Billy Talent. I'm like, oh, no shit. So I have known Billy Talent like all my life because like I'd heard this song on the radio when I was a kid. So it was like a little like a reconnection moment. It's just like, wow, like
Hmm. That's
we were
funny.
meant to be. Um, but yeah, this song is super overplayed for on my end with Shom. Shom plays it weekly. Like, this is probably one of their most requested Billy Talent songs, which is fine, but it's not going to make my list just because it's super overplayed here.
Right, right. That's understandable.
All right, so my number two this year is Reactor. I am not really gonna say much about it because we just talked about it. Banger song. It's had me in a chokehold the whole year. Um, but what was my number two last year?
Stand up and run.
Wow. Oh my god. What the fuck? Why? Again, not gonna talk about that because we just talked about it. So, what was
Hmm.
your number two this year?
Reckless Paradise.
Hey, that's our fucking theme. Well, not official
It's,
theme, but our theme.
yeah, because we would get copyrighted.
Honestly,
um,
I'm about to fucking email Ian myself. Hey, yo, I will give you half the proceeds if you fucking make us, allow us to have this as a theme song.
um, it was the exact same for last year too.
Okay, that's cool. So let's talk about that. Again, I really like. Um, Again, overplayed. Absolutely overplayed here. Like the first year it was released, it was played every day on show, sometimes more than once a day. At the time I didn't mind, but like now, 3 years later, because that song was released in 2020, 3 years later, I'm just like, okay,
Oh
I've
my
heard it
god!
enough. Like this, it's literally the fucking name of my podcast here. Like, but now, like if I hear it once in a while, I'm like, okay, I don't mind because like I don't hear it a lot as much in 2023, but in 2020, that's all I heard.
Right, right.
So why did you pick it?
Well, first off, it's like kind of like since it's like our podcast and like our theme song a little bit, um, but it's also because like every day it's like we live in a reckless paradise a little bit,
We do.
and it's like you just never know what's gonna be like around the corner, sort of thing. So it's like like live live your life to the fullest, but but I mean it's gonna be a reckless paradise at the end of the day. But at least you're living your best life to the fullest a little bit.
You're living life the way that you want to live it, regardless
Right,
of the environment around you. And I
right.
feel like that's a really important message to spread, not only as podcast co-hosts, but as like musicians as well, like as Billy Talent. Um,
Hmm.
with Reckless Paradise, it can be taken in so many different ways, and that's the funny thing about it. Like that's kind of why we named our show the way we did, because like we talk about so many things on this show, like music, wrestling, personal live matters, like with like we did with like your MS stuff, and I talked about my relationship stuff I've been through, and
Hmm.
just shoot the shit. We talk about personal stuff as well, and it's just like we are just like one big Reckless Paradise podcast. Like we talk about literally everything in life like, that life has to offer. And sometimes it can get dark, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to get dark in life in order to see the good things in life, the bright things. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I'm the curiosity's killing me. I want to know what our number ones are from last year and this year. So I want to start with you. What is your number one from this year?
My number one for this year is Try Honesty.
And what was it last year?
Last year was Fallen Leaves.
Okay, well, you're gonna be happy because we have the same number ones this year. My number one's Try Honesty.
Let's go. Like that is like, what are the chances of that happening?
I mean,
Like
we
one
kind
in
of
a
fucking
fucking
gave it
million.
the we gave it the shaft last year. Like, come
Yeah, we gave
on.
it the shaft. Yeah, let's be honest here.
What was my
Uh,
number one last year?
your number one last year was End of Me.
Oh my god, why the fuck? I mean, it's kind of fitting because that was my number one played Billy Talent song, I think, last year.
Hmm.
I think. Was it? Yeah, it was. It was last year. That's kind of fitting. That's also like really funny. So I'm gonna start with End of Me real quick. So End of Me, featuring Rivers Cuomo, by the way, from Weezer. What a fucking surprise! I love that song. It's just like I. The problem with me, the radio didn't overplay it. I overplayed it. I overplayed it to the point I'm like,
You
okay,
did this.
I know this song by heart now. Like I can move on and like play other stuff that I want to enjoy. That song I can also kind of relate to. It's just like it's taken in so many ways. That song, like it could be about addiction or trying to help someone who doesn't want help, like whether it's just from depression or addiction as well. It could be taken in so many ways, and that's
Mhm.
why it's just a really, really good song. I can see why I played it a lot last year. But yeah. So your number one last year was Fallen Leaves. That was on my list last year as well. Um, I wonder why you put it on number one last year.
Mm. I think it was just because like it was the first song that I had like I guess it was like had heard too. Like this suffering. Oh no, I think it was Fallen Leaves. That was the first one. the very first one that I heard. That was the very first song that I heard from Billy Talent. And then I went into Try Honesty, and then into River Below.
Right. So
Um,
like you had like a more of like a bittersweet kind of spot for it in your heart, kind
yeah,
of thing.
it was like bittersweet. Yeah.
Now it's funny how we both picked Try Honesty this year as our number one. Now with Try Honesty, this is a song that yes, I hear it on the radio, not as much as you think though, which is kind of weird. Because this is the kind of the song that put them on the map. This is what shot them to stardom in Canada. And in Germany as well, obviously, because they also grew really popular in Germany. Um, it got them to Warp Tours and stuff. Like they were able to play on Warp Tours after releasing Billy Talent 1. And this is probably one of their biggest hits from that album, next to River Below. Um, Try Honesty, really fucking good song. I love the fucking guitar riff in that song. And then Ben's like really screamy vocals towards the middle. Like Billy Talent 1 is all about the screaming. Like that's all I remember is the screaming, and I freaking love it. That is why it's my favorite, one of my favorite Billy Talent albums of all time, next to like Billy Talent 2. Um, I just love the old stuff, like the screams. Just like, oh, Ben doesn't do that as much anymore.
Well, I mean, he is getting older, and voices do change when you get older and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, look at like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith and
Oh
stuff.
God.
I mean, you wonder where he gets those screams from.
Look at fucking Brian Johnson from AC/DC.
I mean, true. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like if you listen to like their recent album, Power Up, and compare it to like Back in Black or even For Those About to Rock, like it's not the same. Like it sounds different.
Now, if you're wanting different, Jordy is different.
Oh yeah. Like you
That's
compare his stuff from the 70s to even the 80s, like wow.
yeah. It's like I was telling my mom, Mama Dystro, um, um, we heard a Jordy song not too long ago, and I said, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's Brian Johnson. And she goes, huh, interesting. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Try Honesty had to be my number one this year, and I can see why it's your number one as well. You can't fucking beat the classics.
Mm-mm. Nope. We gave it the shaft last year. We have to do it justice this year.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, so we are over the hour mark. That is gonna wrap up our top 10 Billy Talent songs revisited for 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed. What is your top 10 list? Like, have you guys changed your top 10 list since last time you listened to the first episode? And if you haven't listened to that episode yet, go take a listen. It's like literally at the bottom of the list because it's like one of the very first episodes we ever did on this channel. So
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and take a listen to that. Let us know if you kind of agree with our picks this year compared to last year, or if you guys preferred the picks from last year. All right. So we're gonna wrap this up rather quickly here because we're like over fucking an hour, and I don't want to keep y'all here waiting any longer than you should. Um. So nice show. Song of the night. What is song of the night for tonight?
Song of the night is a Bad Omens song, and if people do not know who Bad Omens are, that is like one of like it's a really good band. You should check them out. The song is called "Careful What You Wish For,"
Oh,
and
okay.
the lead singer had made this song in um a tribute to Chester Bennington. Um,
Really?
yes. And if you look at the lyrics and stuff like that, it's like you can tell like it's kind of paying tribute to Chester. And you can plus you could hear it in the vocalist's voice too. Um, it was a toss up between that one and then the new Linkin Park song that came out not
Oh,
too long
Lost.
ago.
I love that
Um,
song.
but I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna just do that, and then I'll do that song like tomorrow for like the server or something.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that's my song of the night.
So if you guys want to hear Careful What You Wish For by Bad Omens, be sure to take a look at the top right hand corner of the episode towards the end. There should be a link that pops up. Go ahead and click on that. It'll take you to the video if you guys want to go take a listen to that. I wanted to listen to that as well because I have heard of that group. I've never listened to their stuff. I've just heard of them through TikTok and stuff, through my For You page, because I'm on to like a lot of like metal. I'm on the metal and rock side of TikTok. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so speaking of rock, we are wrapping up our Blink 182 pilgrimage tonight after we're done recording and uploading this episode. Um, After this, next week we are starting our Def Leppard pilgrimage. So, why not give you and our viewers some background knowledge about Def Leppard? We haven't done a Let's Talk episode in quite a while, so let's talk about Def Leppard this Sunday. Everything you guys need to know about Def Leppard. And as Dystro has mentioned quite a few times on the show, Def Leppard is my forte. Like this is like my
Mm-hmm.
group that I grew up with as a kid. This was like my first group I was really, really into when I was like 7 to 10 years old. So I know quite a bit about this group. And I'm excited to share that with you guys. And I'm sure Dystro is too, because he's going to learn a lot that he didn't know about. And he's going to finally get to hear what I was super obsessed with all my life today. So, for you Def Leppard fans, or even music fans that are interested in hearing about Def Leppard, be sure to join us this Sunday. You will hear everything from start to finish, all the struggles, all the album releases, the lineup changes, everything. Everything you guys need to know. So, tune in this Sunday. It's going to be a freaking blast. I am absolutely thrilled to share this with you guys. So, if you stuck around to the very end, we really appreciate your support, especially on tonight's episode, because this is a pretty long episode. Be sure to follow us on social media by clicking on the link in the description below, which will take you to the link tree. Dystro's game YouTube channel is there as well. He uploads weekly. We've been doing a lot of Skate 3 stuff lately, so that should be there, as well as any other stuff we might upload. Go check him out. Go subscribe. He's getting close to hitting 400
Mm-hmm.
subscribers.
Yeah, currently at the time of this recording, 381 subs right now.
Let's go. Yes, go subscribe to him. Show him some love. Share his content. Do what you gotta do. Just go show him some love. Um, Also go follow us on social media. We have Instagram, Reddit, TikTok, and Twitter. To keep up to date with the podcast in case something happens we can't upload. Once again, go listen to tonight's song of the night by Bad Omens. And thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you guys this Sunday. Peace.
Peace.